Peter Franklin is the Cabby in New York City. Peter, good morning.
Good morning. Well, we have the 7th suicide of a cab driver in the city of New York.
I'm seeing that. That's just terrible. What's going on here?
Well, originally there were 13,000 yellow cabs, and the yellow cab industry had a lock on the market, and you couldn't get a cab unless you paid $1 million for it. And, of course, a lot of people went out and paid $1 million for the medallion. They happen to be in a lot of trouble now because the medallions are probably worth maybe $100,000.
Yeah.
Yet they still got $1 million loan. And then the idiots at City Hall, the Taxi and Limousine Commission, come along and say to Uber, "Come on, guys, put on many cabs as you want."
Yeah.
We got 65,000 Ubers on the streets of New York.
Wow.
So the Uber guys are starving. MIT did a survey and found out that the average Uber guy's making about $3 an hour.
Wow.
The yellow cab drivers aren't making any. So you got an awful lot of upset people,
Yeah.
not to mention it's the unbelievable traffic that we have now. But it's a really sorry tale. So, again, the geniuses at City Hall came up with something, and they said, well, we're not going to allow any more new cabs. It's a little late for that.
You know, I got to say that if you remember, they wouldn't allow Uber upstate, but they allowed it in New York City. And now it's available upstate. It should have been the opposite. Upstate needs it. Upstate suffers from taxi service. In New York City, I don't know about other cities in Europe, and probably, I can tell you right now, every city I've been to, the greatest city in the world for taxis is New York City.
And of course, don't forget the public transportation
absolutely.
system, which is great.
Yep.
And also, to some extent, Uber's a little bit of a con job, because if you're driving a yellow cab, you walk into a garage and you take the yellow cab. You don't really got to give the owner any money until the day is over. So if you got empty pockets, it's a good way to make money for the day, as long as you have the license. Uber, on the other hand, is you got to go out and buy a car.
Yeah.
So it's it's like they're a huge dealership. And
again, why
anybody upset? I'm sorry, but it's
why it works upstate is because up here everybody has a car, and it works upstate better than it would in a city in like New York.
But that's the thing; everybody wants to use Uber. You know,
I don't. When I'm in New York City, I don't use Uber.
Well, right. About the drivers. It's not the drivers. The drivers, I think, mainly the villain here in New York City is the Taxi and Limousine Commission. Yeah. Those guys are in a fog.
I want to just ask you off script for a second, Peter. You saw this limo accident up our way here. 20 people killed in a limousine accident. It was just a horrific accident. Been all over the national news.
It is, and it's a big topic of conversation among drivers, because we have a lot of those kinds of cars here, and nobody ever really thought before, is there a regulation of some sort? You know, can they only be a certain length? Do they have to have seat belts? You know, I mean, it's just never a topic of conversation, because you never had something like that. And the main reaction was when they first announced it was 20 people, everybody thought it was like a typo in the newspaper, you know, like two people. How did 20 people die in one car? So, no, it's a terrible thing.
How about your Schumer story here? And by the way, I love your new format of your True Tales, because it keeps me focused. And you know me.
I'm trying to cut to the chase. I don't want to make it too complicated. I know you're just a young man struggling in the broadcast business.
It's not easy. Bernie Madoff, major contributor to Chuck Schumer. Surprise.
And there was words, everything gets forgotten with time. And since I don't like Schumer,
that's true.
My dark side, I'm just kind of reminding, when does the money that he got from Madoff go back to the fund? You know, they set up a fund to pay off all the people who were swindled.
Yeah.
So that's just my way. I'm using you to tweak Schumer.
Peter, the Mets would not be in the shape they're in right now if Schumer would have paid back some of the money to the Mets. I mean, think of the Mets were killed by Schumer. It's terrible.
Well, I think he just went over the edge when he said he was going to do anything he could to destroy Kavanaugh. I mean, that's not the kind of words that ought to come out of a senator.
Well, I think he had
maybe a governor, but not a senator.
He certainly ate his words. Fort Hamilton pizza guy gets to stay in the country, but should be at least charged with driving without a license.
You remember that story?
I don't know this story. What happened?
I didn't see this.
No, this guy, Fort Hamilton's in Brooklyn. It's a great place to go to, but you can only go with me because I can get on the base and you can't.
That's
all right. In any event, the guy shows up with a pizza. So the MPs at the gate ask him, they'd like to see his driver's license. And he said he doesn't have one. you're driving around delivering pizzas without a driver's license and you go to an Army base, you're not too bright to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
So they decide to check him with ICE, and it turns out he's an illegal alien. So
I do remember this
dumber.
story.
Yeah.
So they take him and they stick him in some place for a while, and then the judge said you could release him. And now they've ruled that he can stay in the country, even though he's an illegal alien. But he really should have been arrested for being stupid. I mean, you don't drive up to the gate of a U.S. Army base delivering a pizza without a driver's license, without your green card or anything. So,
well, and the other part of this is, where's the pizzeria owner checking it? When you hire somebody, all that documentation has to be there. So, we're just hiring people without that information. But he should have been ticketed. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and the newspaper coverage about it really wasn't good then or now, and I'm going to give you a killer exclusive.
All right.
The pizza place that the guys ordered the pizza from was about 2 hours away from the base. The base is surrounded by pizza places. So I kind of offhandedly said, what else was he delivering besides pizza?
Interesting. Okay.
Chicken wings.
And one more. I might have about 30 seconds for this one. Hooker takes cop's gun, badge, and pants. What happened?
That's it, the whole story.
Okay.
You got it right there. You summed it up. This is probably the dumbest cop on the face of the earth. Whilst on duty, he approached a hooker, made the deal, and the next thing he knows, that's all gone, and he has a little bit of an embarrassment. He's suspended, of course. I don't know that he's going to lose his job, but I'm sure he's getting quite a ribbing from all the other police officers.
Yeah. Did he try to say, like, I was going undercover, I'm trying to do my job here?
Yeah, he took off the cover.
Yeah, okay. All right, Peter, good stuff. Best tour in New York City. And Peter will take you to Fort Hamilton. You won't be able to get in, but he'll take you there. And it's in New York. Go to Gabby.com. It's the best. Peter, thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Peter Franklin, the Gabby Cabby.